Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla.
So this guy on TikTok, he's a TikTok influencer. I hate these phrases. This is like a brave new world we're in. He is telling people who are coming into the country illegally, look, you can like literally take over somebody's house and invoke squatters' rights and make it impossible to be removed from these properties. His name is Lionel Moreno, and he's like apparently from Venezuela. And he was telling people that under U.S. law, if a house isn't inhabited, you can seize it. He's talking about squatters' rights, or what they call adverse possession law. And we talked about this yesterday, how this is like a big thing. We're seeing it over and over again. It's one of the wildest things where someone, particularly in these like, very blue sanctuary city states where somebody can come in and take your house, seize your house, and you're kind of SOL. This one woman was arrested in New York because she changed the locks on her door. For instance, in New York, you can't even turn off the utilities. Like if someone took over the house, they don't have to pay you rent. I'm not exaggerating any of this, by the way. They don't have to pay you rent, but you have to pay their electric bill, their water bill. You're not allowed to change the locks. You're not allowed, none of that. They have more rights than you do as the property owner, even though they went in and without your permission or any kind of agreement and took over the house. And these laws have gotten progressively worse over the years. And it's to the point now where it's one of the wildest things. And sadly, all of these people that are dealing with this, there was one guy who basically said that he squatted them back, I think was the thing that he did. He squatted them back and went in and changed the locks and was like, no, it's my house now. So it's just the goofiest thing ever. But there's this attack on American jurisprudence. So this video was viewed 4 million times. People were saying that this guy's promoting terrorism, and they were calling the FBI and all this. They have squatters' rights in all 50 states, but some states are worse than others. I don't even know what the hell a squatter's right is. It's just, it is insane to me that it's even a thing. It's insane that it is a phrase. Like if you're in the process of selling your house, say you're in one of these states that has, pretty leftist interpretation of this, and you're trying to sell your house and say you've moved out, but you're still on the market, they can move in and you are SOL. Not only do you still have to pay for that mortgage, but you also have to pay for all of the utilities because they can give you they can charge you with something extra if you turn the utilities off. And you have to pay for these people to live in your property, and you have no rights over it at all. You have to go to court. It's incredibly expensive. You incur all of the costs that go along with that legal challenge. It's wild. It is wild. And it's happening everywhere. Washington, California, New York. I mean, it's happening everywhere. I mean, in New York, they get 30 days. And so the way that they do this, it could be your house and you didn't agree to rent it. Say you're not even renting it at all. But if they go in and move into your house and they're there for, they can somehow say that they're there for 30 days, then you're considered a landlord. And then you have to start the eviction proceedings, and it's all the legal stuff that goes with it. And in all states, you have to follow a legal eviction process to remove squatters. Now, my legal eviction process is made with lead, and it comes out of the barrel of a rifle. That is my eviction process. So breaking and entering, people can get charged with breaking and entering, but if you stay there, then that changes it. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This is how you're going to get vigilantism. You are going to get vigilantism, and you're going to get people who are going to take it upon themselves because they can't afford the legal cost that comes with pushing people out who break and enter and stay in these homes illegally. But in these blue states, these sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, I mean, I'm just saying, it seems like you get what you vote for, right? You have to live with what you vote for. New York City, though, they have like the most progressive laws on the book. There was one guy who moved in somebody else's basement of their house and he wouldn't leave. There was another lady who was in New York who was arrested because she moved in. She had tried to kick out the squatters, and she ended up getting there. And then there's the woman from Queens that we talked about yesterday, Adele and Deloro, who right? Can you imagine right after your parents pass, and you're having to deal with getting rid of their property and getting rid of like the house, and then you have to deal with the squatter issue because a squatter moves in after your parents pass away. Can you imagine having to deal with that? So this woman is just being victimized and re-victimized and re-victimized. It's insane. And she's fighting. They said that witnesses to this particular house in Flushings, they were doing construction on the house. Not only were the squatters living there, but they were doing construction on the house that's not even theirs. It's insane. And so there you go. And these people have no proof at all whatsoever that there was any kind of, there was no agreement. And they're not offered. They're not offered to they don't even offer to pay for anything. There was a guy, this was in California. It was a $4.5 million mansion. Crazy. $4.5 million mansion. And squatters moved in. And it's crazy. It's crazy. They said that in Los Angeles and Atlanta, some squatters have been turning homes into strip clubs and hosting all-night raves. I'm telling you. And it's in every state, but like I said, some states it's, more so than others. And even in Texas. In Texas, you have to go through an eviction process in Texas to lawfully remove a squatter. If someone takes over your home, I consider that to be a home invasion. And I would love for someone to examine, Castle Doctrine and then going and moving into, that's trespass. The idea that a law ceases to have effect because of how long someone is breaking it is one of the dumbest things to happen in the American legal system I've ever seen. They say, oh, well, squatters, they can stay for a while. Trespassing is short term. Squatters long term. So the period of time that they are illegally present in someone else's property without permission determines the legality of their situation. That's absolutely crazy. But it's adverse possession law. And so they say, but adverse possession law, the way that works is it's supposed to be an honestly entered property, or a property that is held in the possession that's held with the belief that the land is theirs, or that the property is theirs. That's what this is. But the fact that this is even in Texas is bad. Like in Texas, if you feel that you or your property are under threat, Castle Doctrine comes into play. But what if someone's been there? What if you're on vacation and you come back, after, however many days, and you have somebody in your home and my gosh, you feel threatened, your property's threatened. So at what point does Castle Doctrine then go away? It doesn't have any effect because they're now doing this adverse possession. This is the goofiest thing I've ever seen. And none of it's consistent. In state after state, there's zero consistency. So, for instance, in Tennessee, guests are considered tenants after paying rent or as specified in a lease. In Texas, guests are considered tenants if they contribute to expenses or use the mailing address. That's crazy. So there's no consistency across the country. There's zero consistency. But yeah, squatters' rights. Can't even imagine. It's just wild.